Welcome, ladies and gents. Chris Andre here. You can find me at BetBoxing on Twitter, or of course you can subscribe to the channel Let's Talk Boxing. I have just uploaded another video. It deals with the question of Canelo Alvarez and his challenge of the WBC Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Ilunga Makabu. We ask ourselves whether Canelo is genuinely seeking to push the boundaries in pursuit of adding to his greatness even further, or whether this is a manufactured path, a method of trying to avoid certain bigger threats perhaps at light heavyweight. And if he is going to go to cruiserweight, what his overall aims are. We also consider the potential threat that Ilunga Makabu himself could offer. Let me know what you think when you've watched that video, please. For this particular video, let's talk about Dillian Whyte and the WBC. They have turned down his demands to make him the mandatory for TYSON FURY. To be honest with you, it's the WBC doing WBC things. You know, I really worry about Mauricio Suleiman sometimes, man. But listen, their position is that there's an arbitration going on, and so it would be inappropriate, they claim, for them to order this fight when Dillian Whyte is currently taking them to court. But the reason he's taking them to court is because of what he feels to be an injustice, an unfairness, because he has been mandatory for so long and hasn't actually had his shot. So let's consider what is happening here. I understand a lot of you will be saying he had the opportunity at Anthony Joshua. He was offered £4 to £5 million. He didn't take the fight. It would have been a career high payday. He's stupid. He doesn't deserve it. And here's the thing. Whether that was the right decision or not, who knows, right? I don't know. Let's say he'd fought him, didn't make that sort of money, the sort of money he felt he deserved, and he lost, he got knocked out. Well, he would have been a side note in history. Because if he's achieved what he's achieved and he still can't get a title shot, had he lost to Anthony Joshua, there's no way he would have gone on to make the money he made after that fight. And there's no way he would be in a position to actually get a title shot now, because regardless of what he achieves, regardless of what position he's in, he doesn't seem to be able to get a shot anyway, right? So the question is, should he have taken that fight? If he believes in himself and he believes he would have won, he should have taken the fight, is what a lot of people say. Business doesn't work like that. Life does not work like that. Let me give you a little analogy, okay? I want you to imagine that you are contemplating going to a specific university. Hark back to your student days. If you've left those student days, if you're still there, then lucky you. Imagine you were going to go down a particular career path, and a university comes to you and says to you, forget that degree, come and do our vocational degree. There is a guaranteed job at the end of it. You look at the job and you realize, right, this is a great opportunity for me. I will be earning X amount. For argument's sake, let's say the average wage for somebody coming out of that vocational degree might be a very, very high £100,000 a year. You've never earned anything like this before, way above the average national salary, right? So you take on that degree and you decide, yep, I'm going to study, I'm going to work hard. And you do, and you pass with flying colours. You pass with a distinction. Then the job offer comes in. And it's not the £100,000 a year that you expected, or that you feel like you deserve, that your grades deserve, that your experience, or the work experience you were going on during this vocational degree. It doesn't warrant, it warrants a lot more than what you're actually being offered, which is £60,000. Now that's still above the national average. It's way above that. It's still above what you've ever earned before. Nonetheless, it's not what you feel that you are worth. So they turn to you and they say to you, well, I'll tell you what, forget this course. If you're not willing to take this job, why don't you do another degree, and that could give you another job? Well, isn't that kind of like what happened with the Luis Ortiz offer of an eliminator? Because that's what a lot of people are saying. It's what they're comparing it to. Why did he turn down the Luis Ortiz eliminator then? Well, he turned down the Luis Ortiz eliminator, which I believe was with the IBF, because he'd already jumped through enough hoops with the WBC, and he'd been in a position to fight. Let's not forget, Derek Chisora was a WBC eliminator. There was a pull of the title from that fight because, well, of all the controversy that went on, Derek Chisora, you know, threw the bench and stuff like that. But as you can see, it remained a WBC eliminator. The Rivas fight was a WBC eliminator. These are fights that he's winning, right? Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, yeah, but he failed a drugs test. Well, with regards to the drugs test, he had an abnormal finding by UCAD. Now, this story was leaked and it shouldn't have been. Now, I'm going to let you speculate as to who decided to leak that and why. Regardless, the point is they were sufficiently happy with his explanation for these levels of a metabolite in his system. Now, here's the thing. Regardless of whether you think he's guilty or not, he was found to be not guilty. And they reinstated him as the mandatory challenger. So there was a 6-month delay. They messed him around, really, because it wasn't for the WBC to stop him fighting if UKAD had said that they accepted that the test shouldn't have been a failed test, right? Again, regardless of where you stand on this morally, let's not start considering the difference in the way Dillian Whyte's been treated compared to someone like Canelo Alvarez, right? The point is, he was then given the green light and the WBC reinstated him. And once again, they ordered the final eliminator. Dillian Whyte was due to fight Dominic Breazeale, with the winner getting a shot at Deontay Wilder. Now, Dillian Whyte was ranked above Dominic Breazeale. And then what happens? The WBC decide to give the green light for Wilder Breazeale. Please explain that to me. This is absolutely ludicrous, guys. Dillian Whyte made a statement to say, why is Wilder fighting Dominic Breazeale this weekend? Breazeale shouldn't be mandatory, and he's done absolutely nothing to deserve that status, and done even less for the WBC. He's had 1 fight for the WBC his whole career. I've had 10. Yet they make him mandatory for fighting a fake one-way eliminator that magically became a final eliminator 6 months after the fight took place, after they had assured everyone at the time that it had been mistakenly billed as a final eliminator on their website. Come on, man. This is ridiculous. The treatment here is ridiculous, regardless of whether you think he should have taken the Anthony Joshua fight. The man deserves a title shot. And this thing about delaying it for him not to fight Tyson Fury while there's an arbitration, do you realize what this means? It means that Tyson Fury can go ahead and fight somebody else, just less of a risk, and wait out the winner of Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk, the rematch. And then Fury's going to have a rematch with them. So you're talking what? Whyte would have to wait another couple of years again? It's ridiculous, man. And those of you that were calling on Anthony Joshua to stand up and face Alexander Usyk is mandatory, don't give up the belts. And you know what? I was one of them. But you have to be consistent, just like I'm being consistent. Tyson Fury should be fighting Dillian Whyte next. He said so himself, that he was part of his plans. He was saying, my plan is to fight Dillian Whyte in December. This was prior to the AJ Usyk fight, by the way. Why was he saying that then? If he had no intention of fighting him, did he think that AJ would beat Usyk and then he didn't want to fight AJ in December? So then he said, I'm going to fight Dillian Whyte? Is that what he was doing? I'm not accusing him of ducking, but something doesn't make sense. Did you want to fight Whyte in December or not? Well, here's your opportunity now. So why are they moving and operating in this way? Frank Warren was on Talk Sport today, and he was speaking about a purse split, and he was saying the minimum that a purse split usually is for a mandatory, the minimum is 20%. And yet he let slip that they were considering, if it does go to purse bids, for the WBC to give a 15% cut to Dillian Whyte to fight Tyson Fury. So if he was to also turn that down, for argument's sake, which I don't think he should do, he definitely shouldn't do, even if it's 15%, just take it now. But would he be in the wrong? Going back to the conversation we had about value, is Dillian Whyte not worth more than what is the typical minimum? It's ridiculous, man. The guy is really being mistreated here. And Simon Jordan, who's one of the hosts on TalkSport, he decided that he was going to suggest that Dillian Whyte should just drop the arbitration now so that they could order the fight. In other words, he's being blackmailed by the WBC. Well, if he is going to drop the arbitration, are they guaranteeing that this fight happens next? How can you trust them after the way he's been treated? And are they still going to roll with the 15% to 20% purse bids? Now, the reason that it's so low is because in his last fight, he lodged that he'd made 300 grand. And they take previous earnings into account. So clearly, they're, going by the book, so to speak, but they know what's what. They know what's going on here with Dillian Whyte. They know that he's worth a lot more than that, So this is, I don't know, man. This is all ludicrous to me. The guy deserves a title shot. If Tyson Fury isn't concerned about Dillian Whyte and he feels as though he'll deal with him comfortably, make the fight happen. Because one thing we definitely don't want to see, and I've been a major proponent of Tyson Fury, right? For years and years, since the days when he was uppercutting himself in the face, I was telling everybody, this guy has the tools to become the very best. But we have to call out guys when we have to call them out. And I'm not blaming Fury per se, because it's a WBC issue. But Tyson Fury then should come out right now and say, listen, mandatory or not, let's make this fight happen. You know, I understand that financially he's going to try and get as much as he can from the fight, but come out and make it happen. Come on, this is ridiculous now. Let's see Dillian Whyte get a title shot that he deserves, because we all want to see the best fight the best. We do not want to see the dreams fall flat on their back for Dillian Whyte, and we do not want to miss out on massive fights. Thank you for watching, everyone. Chat to you soon. Take care. God bless, and let me know your opinion on everything we've discussed.